What is the sentiment there among the families?
You know, I think you just said it, Ellie, extremely well. Don't hold your breath. Get excited. Have hope. This is a tragedy. It's literally a roller coaster. We've been here about 8 hours. When the meeting was going on in Egypt, people getting excited. Then you get more bad news, and then you get stories from families talking about what's going on with their loved ones. So it is literally an emotional roller coaster mixed with a bit of a Twilight Zone feeling, honestly. You know, I've spoken to some families that I met about a month ago who, you know, were super depressed a month ago, and then they were somewhat hopeful today, but everybody's afraid to get their expectations too high because we know that Hamas are terrorists. We know that they're treating these hostages terribly. We know what's happened in the past week. So it's very confusing. It's very confusing. Some people are smiling. There's been a lot of support here today. We had a group of conservative rabbis that were here singing, bringing some smiles to the faces of, you know, not only the families but the locals that are coming here every night to try to get some solace by being together. There was also a group of diplomats and ambassadors from many different countries that were here today, meeting with the families, getting the individual stories, including one gentleman, Dani Miran, who did have a chance to speak to many of the ambassadors. I met the ambassadors from Greece, from Spain, from many different, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan. They weren't really able to speak publicly the news for obvious reasons, trying to stay as diplomatic as possible. But I did get to listen in to Dani Miran, with the help of a translator, speaking to them. He is the father of Omri Miran, 46-year-old, who is a shiatsu healer. We had spoken earlier to Moshe, his brother-in-law, talking about his character, that he is probably there bringing healing to the other hostages, that is if he is with those other hostages. And I did have a chance to speak in my limited Hebrew to Dani Miran, who really explained the torture he's going through. He raised his son on his own. His wife passed away 32 years ago. Omri Miran, who you know, went through so much while trying to protect his family on October 7th, and now has been taken hostage. And here's a little bit of a clip of what he had to say.
The
terrorists took him and his family to the neighbour's house. As they approached the house, they saw that the oldest daughter had been murdered. There was blood everywhere. His small daughters saw this. Their neighbours were sitting on the kitchen floor, and the terrorists sat Omri and his family next to them. They were undoubtedly there with 5 terrorists until 1:30 p.m. Then the terrorists told the fathers, "Either you come with us or we kill everyone." The men stood up and their wrists were bound behind their backs. My older granddaughter called out to Omri, but his wife, of course, held her back. She told him, "Omri, I love you, don't be a hero, watch over yourself." And that was the last time they saw him.